Statistics are revealing an alarming growth in PTSD symptoms in children, teens, and young adults. What's remarkable about these figures are that the individuals are mostly from secure, financially stable, and trauma-free environments. So what is giving rise to what seems like an epidemic surge in PTSD symptoms such as depression, insecurity, anxiety, palpitations, fear, intolerance, suspicion, and anger, but to name a few? Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is a mental health disorder that usually develops after individuals experience or witness a life-threatening event, like war, a natural disaster, or a violent crime. Symptoms of PTSD can be very disruptive to an individual's life and mental outlook. This also making impact on friends, family, and co-workers that surround them. But closer analysis of many of these individuals and what should be sheltered and beneficial lifestyles reveals some remarkable similarities. Observed visual content and in many cases, actual preferred content. Among suffering individuals, violence, gore, horror, suspense, and occult genres were of the most common viewing preferences or simply coincidental viewing history. Violent video content can be anything from movies and TV shows to video games and social media posts that depict violence. Exposure to this type of content has shown to be detrimental to all ages but can be especially harmful for teenagers and young adults who are still developing their emotional and cognitive abilities. There are a few reasons why watching violent video content can lead to PTSD in a generation. Firstly, teenagers are more likely to be emotionally affected by violence than adults. Their brains are still developing, and they may not have the same coping mechanisms for dealing with difficult emotions. Even adults that regularly view violence will suffer a detrimental impact. Secondly, teenagers are more likely to identify with characters in violent visual content. This makes them feel more immersed in the violence, which leads to unnaturally high adrenaline secretion and emotional attachment. Thirdly, teenagers today are more likely to watch much larger amounts of violent video content than ever before. They may watch violent movies or TV shows, play violent video games, or see violent content on social media. The human psyche is just not meant to absorb that amount of trauma. This increased exposure can make them more likely to develop PTSD. The symptoms of PTSD can vary from person to person, but some common symptoms include vivid, unwanted memories of various material, difficulty in processing visuals on a subconscious level, avoiding people and scenarios that contradict their state of mind, anxiety, feeling tense, restless, or on edge, depression, feeling sad, hopeless, or withdrawn, irritability, being easily angered or frustrated, trouble concentrating, having trouble paying attention or remembering things, changes in sleep, having trouble sleeping or sleeping too much, changes in appetite, losing or gaining weight without trying. It is vital to minimize or even eliminate such content despite popular culture. Therapy without intervention is counterproductive. If you or someone you know is experiencing symptoms of PTSD, it is important to seek professional help. A therapist can help you understand your symptoms and develop coping mechanisms for damage that has been done, but avoidance is critical. Here are some tips for parents to help protect their teenagers from the harmful effects of violent video content. Talk to your teenager about the dangers of violent video content. Explain how it can lead to feelings of fear, anxiety, and helplessness. Set limits on how much violent video content your teenager can watch. This may mean limiting their screen time or choosing age-appropriate content. Be a role model. If you want your teenager to avoid violent video content, you should set a good example by not watching it yourself. Talk to your teenager about their feelings. If they watch something violent, ask them how they felt about it and offer support. By following these tips, you can help protect your teenager from the harmful effects of violent video content. The human mind, and the way we see the world, is one of our greatest assets. What we feed it makes a direct impact. Let's make those necessary changes today for a healthier mental outlook tomorrow.